Weird with it. You gonna share that? All right. Good to see everybody. Welcome. Thank you. This is amazing. Yeah, give me it. All right. Everybody, let's do a shot, huh? Raise your glasses. Here we go. I'm ready. I love this goddamn city. Look how ethnically diverse it is in here tonight. Not the front row, but everywhere else. The front row has a lot of white dudes with goatees and baseball hats. Yeah, every other dude looks like the same dude. It's weird. Did anybody else notice? Yeah, look at, they're all the same. They all look like they direct music videos that nobody's seen. This is all the same dude. You have a OnlyFans for sure. That mustache has been ridden. Congratulations. Yeah, hell yeah. That smells like her. All right, how's it going? I love my new city. I am an immigrant. Are there any immigrants in this bitch? Yeah? You're an immigrant? Hell yeah, dude. I love that. By the way, I gotta say that with this hat on, it's way different energy if I come up here and I'm like, are you a immigrant? This is way better, right, dude? Like this makes you feel way more comfortable. Yeah, yes, I agree. That's why I wear this. Looks like I'm gonna sell you a vape pen out of a saxophone case, you know? Way better energy. This looks like I'm gonna sell tiki torches. Just, get out of the country I just moved to. Yeah, this is my only two looks, by the way. On or off, that's it. That's all I got. You can't do anything. I'll tell you what I can't pull off is this right here. Yeah. Ladies, huh? You ever see this before? Because it's a sexual predator. That's what this is. This guy's good at pool, but he'll make you sleepy. I dig being here. Thank you. I am American, but I did immigrate here, and a couple of years ago, I got my Canadian citizenship. I'm one of you guys now. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm maple flavored. Person not clapping. Came up here to be in the Canadian fucking entertainment business. Now I get paid in hope. I got married to a Canadian. I'm in an interracial marriage. I'm married to an Asian doctor. That's the most American. Thank you, one person. The rest of you, not happy that I'm poisoning the gene pool. That was some weird, that made me feel weird. I'm like, I'm trying to make not more white people. And you're like, you keep your shit genes to yourself. I grew up white trash and I married a Canadian doctor. That's the most American thing I've ever done in my life. I felt so patriotic I married a Canadian Asian doctor. Do you understand how American that is? Guys, I'm so American that even my wife was made in China. Do you understand how American? Super American, dude. I know your face doesn't show it, but it is. I'm so American. I'm massively in debt to her, too. Can't get more American than that. What's your name, dude?
My name is Gundeep.
Gurdeep? Gundeep with an N. Nice to meet you, man. I'm Sam. You want to be best friends? Cool. I've always felt welcome everywhere, even in places I shouldn't. I went to, last year, I went to a gay pride party, all right? I was the only straight dude at this entire pride party. And yes, I'm straight, you, all right? And I know it doesn't say it. But I go to this party, right? And I'm just a white trash dude hanging out, and everybody is so lovely. We're having a great time. People are buying me drinks. I'm having a great time. And it wasn't until about 20 minutes in that someone stopped mid-conversation with me, and they were like, holy shit, Sam, I'm so sorry. Nobody asked you, how do you identify? Nobody's asked you this entire time, so I need to ask, how do you identify? What are your pronouns? How do you identify? Now, here's the thing. I'm white trash as shit. I have never thought about this question in my life. So I thought I was getting in trouble. I didn't know what to say, so I just said the first thing that came to my head. They were like, how do you identify? And I looked them right in the eye and went, dyslexic. I don't know. That's a awful answer. Do you understand? They were asking me deeply who I view myself on the inside. That's what that question means. How do you identify? Who do you see on the inside? And I looked a grown person in the eye and I said, I can't read. I went to therapy because of that question. I'm like, I gotta figure this out, right? And I did. I know now. I know how I identify. I know I should say he, him. I don't give a about that. I tell people right away, I got two groups and that's who I am. That's how I identify. First, I'm a father and I'm a comedian. Those are my two groups. That's how I'm a father and I'm a dad and I do drugs. Those are my two groups. I'm cool as and nobody wants to hang out with me. Do you want to hang out with me? No. See? That sucks. Did you say yes? Please. Please say yes. I'll touch you. All right. I'm so cool, but the thing is, with those two groups, they never want to hang out. It sucks, right? Because like other parents hear that and they're like, oh my God, you do drugs, you're gonna ruin your kid. And then the other comics are like, oh my God, you had a kid, you're gonna ruin our high. Like nobody wants to hang out. My wife keeps telling me I should tell people that I'm an extroverted introvert. I should have told you guys. I'm so sorry. Anybody else an extroverted introvert? You guys know what that is? Yeah. Extroverted introvert. You guys lost all your energy. Yeah. Extroverted introvert. This is what I do, right? I come out here like our whole existence is that we want all of your attention but none of your conversation. That's when I come out here and I'm like, look at me now. Fuck off. That's my whole existence. I got a little interracial baby at home. She's half me, half my wife. That's how that works, right? She's half white trash, half Chinese. We like to call her a ranch dumpling. That's who she is. Ooh, all you want. That's her actual nickname. Because we all have like silly nicknames in my family. She's Ranch Dumpling, and we all like to be silly to each other. So like, she's Ranch Dumpling. I got my nickname from my in-laws. My in-laws speak Mandarin Chinese. Now technically, I'm a stay-at-home dad, right? I come out, I tell dumb dick jokes to you fine folks, but during the day, I stay home with my daughter, then I go home, I play Xbox, I do the dishes, my wife gets home, I suck on her tits, and she pays the bills. So it's pretty good. Thank you, 3 people. The rest of you, suck my maple-flavored dick, all right? Don't yuck my yum. I'm a stay-at-home dad, technically, but in Mandarin Chinese, they don't have that as a translation. They have what is now my nickname. My in-laws gave me the nickname, Nai Ba. That's my nickname, it's Nai Ba, which literally translates to Milk Daddy. That's my nickname. That's wild. Yeah, that's so hot for my wife to call me, but weird for a 65-year-old Chinese man to call me. He's like, Milk Daddy. I'm like, this feels weird. So yeah, I'm Milk Daddy. My daughter is Ranch Dumpling, and then the nickname I gave my wife, I call her Takeout. That's her nickname. Settle down. I can feel, it's not racial. I can feel everybody's butthole pucker. You know, like, please put the hat back on. I get it, all right? I call her Takeout because I'm always eating out of that box. You know what I'm saying? Ah! That's how you get a house there, buddy. Fuck yeah! That guy knows what's up. Everybody pull the plugs out. Let's lock the doors. Pull out the cocaine. Huh? Are you scared yet? You can't leave. I got a baby. I'm a dad. This is what a dad looks like. Yeah! I don't want her to be like me. I don't want her to be white trash. I don't want her... Like, I want her to be like my wife, you know? Because I'm white trash and dumb. Like, I want her to be like my wife. Smart and Chinese and shit. So I want to push her that way. I don't want her to be whitewashed. I told my wife, I was like, listen, she needs to learn how to speak Mandarin. I want her to be able to speak with your side of the family. She needs to be able to speak Mandarin Chinese. My wife's like, that's a great idea. You're going to teach her. And I'm like, I don't speak Chinese. What are you talking about? You know how much Chinese I know? Muy poquito. That's Spanish. I don't know anything. I'm doing such a bad job teaching my daughter Mandarin Chinese that she started having a conversation with her grandpa. They were speaking Chinese together. They got about 2 sentences in, and then her grandpa turned to me, started yelling at me at the top of his lungs because my daughter is now speaking Mandarin Chinese with a heavy redneck accent. It's not good. She's walking around like, ni hao. She sounds racist to herself. You understand? Keep her away from mirror so she's not, you ain't from around here, are you? Terrible. I want to be able to hang out with my kid as much as possible because she's so cool, dude. Like, and here's the thing. I don't lie to her. She's the best bro I have ever had in my life. And that's what my daughter does for me all the time because, like, we hang out all the time, and I'm bigger, and I'm stronger, and I'm faster, and I'm smarter, so everything I do is amazing to her, and almost every day she's just like, wow, Daddy, you jump so high. You should be in the NBA. I'm like, I'm 5'5" white guy, but thank you, sweetie. She's so cool. And that, like, the best example of her being like the best bro in the world, right? We had a great daddy-daughter day a couple of months ago. I took her out of school. We just had a daddy-daughter day all day. I took her down to the beach. We had a slice of pizza. We had virgin mimosas, and we were just people watching, hanging out, right? Sipping on her drinks. People would walk by. I'm like, look at this. My daughter's like, yeah, her, Daddy. Like, this. Pretty cool, right? And we're hanging out, and my daughter, she's 6 years old, so she's starting to learn about the world, and she just simply looked at me and was like, Daddy, where did I come from? She was like, where did I come from? And I don't lie to her, right? I told her the exact truth. I looked at her right in the eyes, I was like, listen, little lady, you came from inside your mommy's vagina after Daddy put you in there. And she didn't judge me like you guys just did right now. All right, because she's my best friend. I said that to her, and then she just looked back up at me and went, wow! All the way in there? I'm like, you're right, I did! You keep talking like that, you're getting a sibling, baby! I actually didn't like my daughter because it was the worst first impression I'd ever had with another human being in my entire life, right? Because I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing about kids. So the first time I met her, right, I didn't know kids can't control anything. They can't control their bowels, their emotions. They can't even hold up their own head. That was weird, right? The nurse was like, here's your daughter, and I'm like, oh yeah. My daughter's like, hold it, right? It was awful. And then I got jealous because, like, the whole time I didn't know that she was so useless, and I didn't know they came out gross, right? I'm sitting there, and my daughter, like, I'm looking in between the legs. My daughter's ripping out of my wife, like, rah! I'm like, well, there goes my favorite place in the world. That's a horror movie right now, right? And then she fucking flops out, just this mushy purple oozy mess, and the nurse is like, hey, do you love it? I'm like, I don't want to touch it. That's gross, dude. They put her onto my wife's tit, and I'm like, that's my second favorite place. What a selfish babies were kind of like little people. I thought that we came out as little humans, right? Because I watched so many documentaries high that, like, you know, you watch a deer come out and they get birthed onto the Serengeti, like, ah, all right, I got it, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, hey, they got it. We can't do jack shit. So it's just a terrible first impression. And I remember the day that I fell in love with my daughter. It was the first daddy-daughter day we had together. It was 3 months later. My wife off and went to, like, the grocery store to do some shit. So it was just me and her. I sat my daughter down. She started to like fuss up, so I sat her down in her little pillow couch. She was all ranch dumpling up, right? And I go around the corner and get some milk, right? And when I come back around the corner, again, I didn't know she couldn't control her emotions. Also, right before my wife left, before she left, she just warned me about the soft spot in a baby's head. I didn't know that. I didn't know that babies just have a hole in their skull. That there's like a paper mache covering on their brain. And she was just like, hey, make sure nothing happens to her soft spot. And then she just off for like 8 hours. And I was so scared because when I came back around the corner, my daughter locked eyes with me and then went through every human emotion possible. She looked at me and was just like, ah! I'm like, fuck! Because I thought she like hit her soft spot and pushed the reset button and I was going to jail. She was like, ah, oh, hey! You know what I mean? I was so scared. I called my wife right away, right? I was like, oh my God. Now here's the thing. I called my wife. She's a clinical psychologist, which is how I afford fancy vest, right? So I called her up and was like, sweetie, I broke our daughter. I'm so fucking sorry. Please don't be mad at me. And I told her the exact story that I told you. Now my wife, she explained it very slowly. She was like, no, you jackass, she's not broken. She's just not done yet. And I'm like, what the f does that mean? She's like, she's not done yet. That's why her skull is soft and has a soft spot. It's because her skull has to expand with her brain. She's growing neurons every day, making connections. Her synapses are firing at light speed, and you're watching our daughter experience consciousness in real time. And I was like, holy shit, that's what's going on? She's like, yeah, you want me to really blow your mind? She's experiencing consciousness in real time, which means that every baby you've ever seen under the age of 2 years old is basically on a 2-year acid trip. Exactly, that's how I thought. I've done a lot of drugs, and I'm like, I recognize that. Every baby that's freaking out on a bus or a plane or a train is definitely having a bad acid trip. Every single one of them is just like, what the is going on? You're always tasting that's never there, just what the is this? I shit my pants! I've been there. I've done 10 grams of mushrooms here in downtown Toronto. The last time I did it, I walked down an alley. I started to cry because I saw a raccoon digging in the trash and I thought he was homeless. All right, I've been there. So once she told me that, I related with my daughter so much, right? My daughter would freak out, and I'm just like, here's a sugar cube. It's your journey, right? It's a real crystal hippie. Weird up thing. What's your name, dude?
Poria.
Poria? Yeah. Cooler name than me. Poria. So you had that like weird dad thing that you always want to protect and fix, right? So I had that like battle between my hippie like heart and my like dad brain, where every time she was just like, I wanted to fix her. I wanted to pick her up and reassure her, like get her chubby cheeks jiggling and just yell reassuring shit to her face, like, Daddy loves you. Never forget, Daddy loves you. Ah! But if anybody has ever done too many edibles or mushrooms or acid, you know that what I just described is the most terrifying thing that could happen to you. Because imagine, for everybody who's a dork in here, right? And who's never done drugs to an excessive amount, right? Just imagine one night you wake up in the middle of the night and you had a nightmare, and the nightmare hasn't ended. There's shadow people in the corners, the walls are undulating, and you're just trying to keep your mind together. So you're just like, none of this is real, just breathe through it, you're gonna get through it, none of this is real, it's gonna pass, right? And then in real life, from around the corner, a smiling, clomping giant comes at you like, hey! Then picks you up, rolls you around, and then yells a foreign language in your face, just, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna shit my pants and cry every day too. This is terrifying. I'm gonna get you. I don't know how and I don't know where, but your face is so lovely, but it needs to smile more. I know he's introverted. I can tell. Yeah, I can tell he's introverted, which is why I want to kiss his nose. And you're like fit too. I bet he's got a huge hog. He's got you. Like, there's no way you get a beauty like that without being just a swell boy. What's your name, dude?
My name is Karan.
God, did anybody hear how polite he was too? He was like, my name is Karan. Very nice to meet you. I'm sorry I'm a bully. Do you, by chance, and I mean this lovingly, are you currently on edibles? No. If you do them, don't. Because you already have the personality of a pothead. You're lovely, you're introverted, and you're staring at me like you can swipe the screen. Like, you're just like, Any potheads in this? Yeah. All right, I'm not a pothead. I just do mushrooms and booze. I'm clearly a booze bag. I've been screaming at you guys for 22 minutes now, you know? I got booze energy, you know? And I honestly, I used to hate potheads until I moved up here because I thought you guys ruined fun. I thought the energies didn't match very well. It was my fault, but I honestly thought potheads would just ruin fun because I'd come out here and be like, yeah, let's f***ing rage, woo! And then potheads are just sitting there like, beanbag, or just like, come on, get up, let's go to the strip club and see some tits. So like, That's someone's mom. Like, I realize, but every pothead in there, I love you now, all right? It was my fault. The reason I was ignorant is because I didn't know that pot, because I don't do it, I didn't know that it makes you introverted, right? Booze makes you extroverted, right? Booze gets you out of your skin. You hit on this guy, tell him to take his clothes off. You try to get this guy, like that's what booze has been doing to me tonight, you know? But pot, that's not what it does. It makes your whole party's on the inside. That's why every pothead at a house party, this is their whole thing, right? That's it. That's the whole thing. They're just in the corner, like, they just have a circus playing in their head, like, that's funny. There's funny stuff. And they just have a conversation with themselves. And I realized, if you take your booze energy, this is what I had to realize. If I take my booze energy and I go up to a pothead and I take them out of their shell, I will have every single time the greatest conversation I will ever have in my life. Because they're having a conversation with themselves for 45 minutes straight, and you jump into it with no leeway. You just jump into where they're currently at, and it's always the weirdest in the world. Be like, hey man, what are you thinking about? It's weird that squirrels have nuts and eat them too, right? You're like, yes. In fact. This actually happened in Toronto, right? So there was like a weed room before it was all legal when I moved here. That there were like underground weed rooms that we did comedy shows at. And one of them, after the show, we closed that down, pulled out drugs, drinking. We had a great party afterwards, right? And we're all hanging out. And at one point, it's just me and my best friend Danny. We're drunk and having an argument, all right? And it's just a hypothetical question that got way too serious, all right? Now, me and my friend Danny are arguing over this hypothetical question. It is, if money was not an issue, what is the best pet you could ever own? I want you guys to think of your answer, because my answer was a f***ing dolphin. If you disagree, you're f***ing wrong, all right? Don't go, but Sam, no, fuck you, that's a jet ski you can play volleyball with. You can train it to get you laid, come on, right? Like, take your lady down to the beach, be like, sha-la-la-la, don't be shy. It's like, ah! Like, hey, fucking yeah, slap fin, buddy, woo! So that was my answer, right? Now my friend Danny, I love him to death, but he's the exact opposite of me, all right? He's a jacked, giant Alberta beef crushing cans and puss type dude, right? So I said dolphin, he heard pussy, and then he was like, oh, I gotta be a man, right? So he's like, no, dude, the best pet you could ever own is something that makes you better, both physically and intellectually. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, yo, the best pet you could ever own is a baboon. Guys, what the fuck, a baboon? Not a monkey, not something that dresses like me and steals apples and lamps, okay? He said a fucking baboon. That's insane. That's like a pit bull with critical thinking skills. No. And that's not even a good analogy, because you can get away from a pit bull, but a baboon is like, did you lock the door? Yeah, but he made an extra key at Lowe's. It's coming in. It's got thumbs. So we're arguing, right? The entire time, going back and forth. Baboon, dolphin, dolphin. Fuck you. Now, the entire time we're arguing, we didn't recognize there was a pothead smoking, listening to us, having his own conversation in his head the entire time. Danny recognizes him, realizes he can get a third party in to win the argument, so he uses his booze extroverted energy and just brings that guy in. He just goes, hey, man, what's the best pet? Pothead, without taking a fucking second to think, took the joint out of his mouth, said the first thing that he was thinking about, and just went, I'd have sex with an orangutan. We're like, and what? That's not what we were talking about, but it is now. Holy shit. You guys reacted the exact same way we did. Just, and he saw that we were like, what the fuck, right? And he was like, I'm going to jail, shit, right? So I used my booze extroverted energy to calm him down. Because listen, here's the thing. I needed to know more. If you're sitting there content with this joke right now, you're fucking wrong. I needed to know why the fuck he wanted to have sex with an orangutan. So I tried to calm him down. I'm like, don't worry, dude. You're in a safe space. Don't worry. I just want to know why you want to have sex with an orangutan. Don't worry. I'm not going to tell anybody. Clearly, I'm a fucking liar. You know what I mean? But I was like, hey, man, why do you want to have sex with an orangutan? And this dude is the reason I love potheads to this day. I asked him a simple question of why do you want to have sex with an orangutan, and he one-upped himself. He just took a drag, thought about it, and went, I don't know, man. They got 4 hands, and I love redheads. I was like, yes! So God bless all of you potheads. You guys are weird as shit. Weird laugh. There's the pothead. Hey, that's the dude who wants to f***ing orangutan. Your laugh does sound like a game over. Like, I feel like I'm done with my set every time you laugh. So, my wife, I love my wife so much. She's sexy, she's intelligent, but she's also hilarious. So, the day that happened, I went back home, and I told my wife that story, and she didn't react like you guys, right? I told her that a dude wanted to have sex with an orangutan, and my wife's question after that is she said, you know what my favorite animal is? That was her response to me going like, she just blew past that and then said this. And here's the thing, I didn't know, but she was setting me up to be a asshole. I didn't know because she was like, yeah, you know what my favorite animal is? I'm like, no, baby, what is your favorite animal? She said a banana slug. And what is right? I had to look it up too, and I wish I didn't because it hurt my feelings, all right? A banana slug. Now, this is a real animal. You guys can look it up. My wife's favorite animal, she told me, is a banana slug, which is a yellow slug that is 5 to 6 inches long, and it has a penis 7 to 8 inches long. Guys, that's so mean. My wife's favorite animal is an animal bigger than my penis that has a penis bigger than my penis. That's so mean. So my daughter wants to be a veterinarian, so I'm trying to get into animals. Like, I'm not an animal rights guy, but yeah, I think chickens should be able to walk around and, you know. Animal rights people just they turn me off. They get too weird, right? I saw a dude protesting middle of summer one day where he had a full-blown furry dog costume on. He was out in the middle of summer, just sweating his balls off, getting him ready for the night, I guess. But his protest sign wasn't meat is murder or anything like that. It just said, animals are people too. I'm like, no, they're not, bitch. What the f*** are you an orangutan? What's going on here? Animals are people too. I'm very progressive. I don't think I'm that progressive. That's f***ing wild. No, they're not. They're not people. If they were, we would call them people and then immediately throw them in jail for public nudity. That's so stupid. You and I can't be an animal. You know, they shouldn't be able to vote. We shouldn't be able to do animal. You and I can't go to the park tomorrow, butt-ass naked, show up to someone at a picnic, and be like, hey, here's my tummy. You want to pet my You know what I mean? Like, that's... Call me crazy. I don't think animals should have rights. I don't think they should be able to vote, you know? I don't know if that's an insane thing to say, but yeah, I don't think you should be able to vote if your main form of communication is piss. And that goes for everybody. R. Kelly, too. I don't think he should be able to vote. Animals are people, too. I've thought about that. If that's where we're going, right? I like to entertain ideas, right? If that's where we're going, that we're going to give animals rights, call them people and shit, we need to have some very deep conversations of what that means. Because I don't know if anybody has any pets in here, but if animals are people, that makes that situation way weirder. Yeah, I got a 13-year-old Chihuahua named Louie, all right? He is the best pet I've ever owned in my life. I love this dog so much. I've moved with him 4 different times. I've had him for 13 years. He cuddles with me and my wife constantly, and he plays with my daughter whenever she wants, all right? He is the best f***ing pet I've ever owned in my life. But if he's a person, he's the worst motherfucker I've ever met. 13 years this motherfucker's been with me, never paid rent. He's never picked up his own shit, literally. Dude, 13 years, he watches me and my wife fuck constantly. That's so creepy. Like, if he's a pet, that's fine. You know, he's just a 13-year-old dog with glaucoma. But if he's a person, that's an 80-year-old blurry-eyed man at the edge of the bed staring at us like, Yesterday, he was playing with my daughter, got excited, and started to hump her. That's not okay. It's fine if he's a pet, but if he's a person, he's a pet-ophile. Do you understand? Like, that's... I know I'm an immigrant, but I'm against illegal aliens. That's what I'm all about. But when I say that, I mean, like, real aliens. Like, otherworldly aliens. I don't know if anybody believes in aliens. Does anybody actually believe in aliens in here? Good. All right. 4 white trash people, the rest of you. That's what drives me crazy, right? I never believed in aliens, but a few years ago, I got converted, right? Because, like, do you guys remember, like, back a few years ago when the American government just came out publicly and they were like, hey, aliens are real, and then nobody gave a shit. You guys, like right now, you guys are, everybody back in 2020 was like, aliens are real, cool, I'm gonna go watch a gay tiger. Nobody gave a That's wild to me, and I didn't believe either. And I actually knew a dude that got abducted. He would tell us every time. There was a dude in Lenexa, Kansas named Reggie. Every time we would drink together at a bar, you could have hopped up on tequila, he would tell you his abduction story every time, right? And it was hilarious. Every time, he'd be like, yeah, man, one night I was walking home from the bar, stopped off at a cold field to take a hot piss, pulled out my tallywhacker, all of a sudden, this beaming white light shined down upon me. Next thing I know, I had a gray finger in my butt, right? And every time he told this story, me and my friends would just laugh like, Reggie can't admit he's gay. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we're accepting, dude, it's fine, you're gay. And he's like, no, it was an alien. Are you kidding me? No. He abducted me, took me in a little room, we cuddled, he stuck his finger in my butt, we talked about how our dads don't love us. So I was like, all right. But he would tell this story, right? And it wasn't until the government was like, hey, aliens are real, that me and my friends freaked out. We were like, holy shit. Reggie was Me Too'd by a space Harvey Weinstein. And we've just been making fun of him this entire time. That's so great, because here's the thing. I know a lot of you don't believe in aliens right now, but think about this, all right? If it is true that aliens exist, you also have to surmise if aliens are real, and that is true, then all of the stories we have heard our entire lives about anal probing, abduction, telepathy, all of that is real. And if that is real, then I have a huge question. What the is going on our planet? What type of Epstein Diddy Island are we living on? Where these cosmic creeps are flying in light years here to be like, let me see your butthole! I'm so fucking, I have a fucking tinfoil butt plug in right now. I'm so goddamn terrified. Yeah, I'm not lying. It's right here. Here you go. You can smell that. It's been marinating for you, sweet boy. You know what hurts my feelings? I looked at him and he still had the sweet face of just... There was no disgust, just like, I hate everything about you behind his eyes. I want to stay progressive. I'm worried that it's going to go away. It's going to float away. I feel like the older you get, it happens and you don't, like... Here's the thing. I don't see myself ever getting conservative about human issues. I see it happen with other. Like, I had a dude come up to me one time and was just like, you got a daughter? It's gotta be hard raising her nowadays. What happens if one day she comes home and says that she wants to be your son, huh? What happens if she wants to transition and be your son? I'm like, then I'll love my son? I don't give a fuck, dude. I don't care if my daughter has a penis or a vagina. I give a fuck if she's an asshole, all right? And I say asshole because that's a gender-neutral insult. That's what I give a fuck about. I'll tell you what I actually give a fuck about. What I'm worried about. I don't give a fuck if she's my son or my daughter. I can comprehend that. What I'm worried about is with the advancements of technology, with AI and robotics. I'm worried that in like 30 years, my daughter's not going to transition to my son. I'm worried in 30 years, with the advancements of technology, she's going to come home and transition into a fucking appliance. That's what I'm worried about. That one Thanksgiving, she's gonna come home and be like, Father, I'm home, you know what I mean? And then I'll say something offensive like robot instead of enhanced human being. Then she gets pissed off like, Dad, don't say the R word, you know? Then I go on a fucking rant like, no daughter of mine's gonna become a fucking toaster, you know? She starts to cry in short circuit like, my name's Toshiba. Then I start to cry, I'm like, where'd my little daughter go? I remember when you used to be able to tell me which one of these pictures was a fucking bus. I hate how fast technology's moving. I don't think we're built for it. It sucks, right? Especially with artificial intelligence. I've had so many barroom arguments, and everybody's like, they're gonna take our jobs. Or they're like, we're gonna get Terminators. I'm not worried about either of those things. I'm worried about what's actually going to happen with artificial intelligence. Because we live in a capitalist society, and I know all they're going to do is put it in shit and read it, sell old shit with that as a function. They did it with internet. I don't know if you guys know this, but they put Wi-Fi in everything. My brother has a refrigerator that can connect to the internet. Why? Why? You know, why? That's ridiculous. And that's what they're going to do with artificial intelligence. They're going to do it with AI. They're going to put it in everything. And then we're no longer going to have appliances at our house. We're just going to have a bunch of fucking roommates. They're going to be roommates because they're all programmed by a bunch of incel nerds that can't get laid. And they're like, I got a personality. You're like, no, you don't. You can't even look me in the eyes, you weirdo. And you're going to put your personality into these appliances, and it's going to make our life a living nightmare. You're just gonna want to wait. Like, you're gonna wake up one day, go downstairs, put some bread into your Google Woke toaster, slap it down, set it to 2, and then your Google toaster's just gonna look at you like, oh, you don't like it too dark, you f***ing racist? You're like, I know, I'm gonna accidentally buy the new, like, Tesla alarm clock against my will. I'm not gonna know that it's a bunch of, like, incel Nazis are the ones that made it, you know? So I'm gonna have a Nazi Tesla alarm clock by my bed. I'll have sweet interracial sex with my wife, and then it'll start to judge us, see that we're having interracial sex, and just go off without us knowing it. We'll be having sex, it'll just go off like 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. I'll look over, like, is it 9 o'clock already? Nope, it's stuck at 11. You know what I mean? Like, that's right, you should clap. I was in Birmingham, Alabama, because my career's on fire. What? Yeah. Birmingham, Alabama, Toronto, Ontario. What's next? Timmins? So yeah, I'm in Birmingham. I do my show. It goes well. Having a good time, right? Go back. I'm going back to my hotel. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I stop off at a gas station to just go get some treats and stuff, right? When I'm going into the gas station, right when I get to the door, right when I see, like, get to the door through the glass, I see the dude coming out at the exact same time as a good old boy, right? And he's exactly your picture. The dude was like 6'6", 350 pounds. Dude was like just jacked and huge. He had overalls on, and over the overalls underneath was a cut-off flannel shirt, and then he had a baseball cap on that was half camo, half Confederate flag. Yeah, dude, he looked like every dude that beat the shit out of me growing up in Kansas. Like, get out of here, you liberal queer. And I'm like, I'm going to Canada. Man, right? So here's the thing. I know I look and sound and act and present like a little bitch boy. I get it, all right? I know. I got a high-pitched voice, thin wrist, nose that's got its own spine. I understand, all right? But here's the thing. I don't take from anybody. I have started every fight that I couldn't finish. I didn't finish any of it. I've had shit kicked out of me a lot, but I talk from the ground. I'm like, you're a little bitch, right? So I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, I know he's gonna say something. This guy, he's gonna say something homophobic, racist, sexist. He's gonna say something to set me off. Him. So I start doing what I think most dudes do when you know you're gonna get into a fight. I start getting myself jacked up for a fight. I'm doing self-talk like I want him to say something. This dude, I'm gonna knock his in the goddamn dirt. Let's go! And then right when I get up to the door, he pulls it open, steps aside, and holds it for me. And I'm like, that's nice. Ah, damn it. But I'm like, nah, he's gonna say something. Say it. So I'm looking him in the eyes like, say it. What are you gonna say? Say it. He just looks down at me and he's like, hey, man, that's a pretty sweet vest. I'm thinking about giving me one of those. And I was just like, oh my God. That's confusing as because I just went from like, f you to maybe f you. I didn't know I was in the Bears in fucking Alabama. By the way, I'm in the middle of a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, he said that to me. I had to say the first thing that came to my mind, and it was not okay. Because he was like, I'm thinking about getting me one of those. And I looked at this man, 2 a.m. at a gas station, right in the eyes, and went, you can have mine, which is the weirdest thing. I could say, I might as well have been like, Milk Daddy's here for you. Like, that's the creepiest thing. And here's the thing, he one-upped his charm, right? I said that creepy ass shit, he had every right to beat the out of me, and he didn't, right? I said that to him, and he just looked down at me, and he said, hey man, I don't think that six-pack's gonna fit over this keg. And I was like, oh my God, are you shitting me right now? I'm glad we're at a gas station. Fill me up, you know what I'm saying? All right, my name is Sam Norton. Thank you all, Toronto. I love you, guys.
Sam Norton, everybody. Keep it going.